Have you ever felt that your hair is too wavy or too curly? Well, today I will be showing you guys how to manage it with a flat iron, straightening your hair. Before hair straighteners were invented, people would go over to each other's house. This is in the late 1980s, because big hair was a thing. But they would go over to their houses and they would fan out their hair on a clothes ironing board, and they would use their iron. Their friends would come behind them, use their iron, and smooth out all of their hair. And back in ancient times, Egyptians who weren't born with naturally straight hair, they would heat these flat iron plates in fire, and they would run it over their hair and smooth it all out to make it super straight, which this caused burns on their hands and on their faces. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like that would be really painful and it wouldn't even be worth it at that point. So some people like myself like to embrace their natural hair like I have done today all day, but sometimes I feel like it's too wild and too messy and I like to straighten it. So this is my own preference, and I'll explain and walk through with you guys some of the steps, actually all of the steps of straightening your hair with a flat iron. And I will be showing you guys the sequence that works best for me. Now, I'm not going to straighten my whole head of hair today because it takes about 20 minutes. So I'm just going to show you the basics. The materials you're going to need today is a mirror or two. You're also going to need a hairbrush, a clip, or a ponytail holder. I'm going to use this clip. You're going to need your heated hair straightener, and then it's optional to go ahead and get a toothpick comb or a heat protectant spray, which I'm not going to use those today because I don't normally use those. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to part your hair. I like to part my hair straight down the middle when I'm straightening my hair, and I usually just use my hairbrush. So I'm going to brush it all back. And I'm going to go ahead and use my finger instead of that toothpick comb. And I'm just going to do it just like that, which I've got these bangs going on up here in the front, which just kind of throw me off sometimes. All right, so that looks okay. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to brush out all your hair. Make sure there's no knots or rats in there, because you want the hair straightener to glide through as smoothly as possible. You don't want to burn any of your hair off, okay? And I usually go ahead and turn my flat iron on at this point because it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to fully get heated up. And then you want to make sure you use a great temperature setting, the one that is best suitable for you. So my hair is really thick, so I like to put my hair straightener on 400 degrees to 450 degrees. Now, if you have average hair, I would say 300 to 350, and if your hair is thin, please put your hair straightener on the lowest setting possible, and the lowest heat possible, because you don't want to fry your hair off. Okay, now you're going to section off your hair using that clip or that ponytail. I'm going to use the clip today because you just want to make sure that it's all up out of the way, because you don't want it all getting all mixed together. So I like to go ahead and take my 2 fingers, place them on my temples on the side of my head, and go right above, you can see my ears on both sides, and pull it back. And when you're pulling it back, it's really important to make sure you pull all of that down. And you're going to want to, see, this part don't really matter right now. You're going to want to twist it kind of into like a bun and just really get it all out of the way for what you're fixing to do. I'm going to go ahead and use that clip. I look crazy. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and back down the middle, and you're going to pull them both to each side. And then you're going to take your brush again and just make sure that all of that is fully brushed through. Now then, you're you're going to take a separate section of hair that's anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, just to where the flat iron will cover it. So mine right now is mine's on 450 degrees. I have a lot of hair and it's really wavy and it's really thick. So you're gonna wanna pull it out so you can see what you're doing, and you're gonna wanna just clamp it and pull down. And you're gonna wanna be closer to the root, but not on your scalp, because you will burn yourself. And it's very, very, very important not to burn yourself. And also, instead of using my hands, I like to take my brush, pull out a section, and straighten. And you want to make sure you're applying the same pressure the whole way down. You want to do it slowly. You don't want to do it too fast, because if you do it too fast, you might clip your ear or your jewelry or whatever you got on. Okay, so you just want to pull it down. And you don't want to do like this while you're pulling it down, because it'll make it look like it's crimped and it will make it look really, really messy. So you just repeat this process over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and do this other side. As you can see, this side looks a lot more straightened than this side. Okay. And you're going to hit it and pull all the way down. And I like to take my brush and brush through it again just to make sure that there's no knots, because my hair gets knotted super, super easily. And I also don't want to put my hands on there because I don't want to burn my hands. Okay. And just like that, your hair is straight. Now, I'm not going to continue doing the sections because it takes me, like I said earlier, a while to straighten all of it. But I am going to show you kind of the top, how I do like this last little layer. Just brush it all out, and I like to gather it in the middle, kind of like two pigtails, and pull, just so that I'm getting all the hair, even the back hair back here, because this is where it's really, really wavy and it's really, really, really hard to see. So that's why I said you might need 2 mirrors. Therefore, you could hold one behind you and kind of see what you're doing and see what's all straight and what's not straight. See, back here is all super, super wavy. You're just gonna pull it down. And you don't have to go all the way up here unless it's super, super bumpy and curly. I kind of just like to, see, I'm running my fingers through because it's not super hot. And then I pick my brush up and I like to gather, you know, here in the back so I can see what's going on. I'm sorry, I've been looking at this mirror this whole time. But, yeah. That is how you straighten your hair. Now, and then once I get done straightening it, I like to brush through all of it once more just to make sure. And I usually have someone with me and I'm like, hey, is there still waviness in the back there? But now that you have seen how to properly straighten your hair, you can now be prepared to do it on your own. Now, today I demonstrated the steps of straightening your hair with a flat iron. Which included brushing, sectioning, and the actual technique. You can wear your hair however you would like to. This is just a brief description on how I straighten my hair. I like to straighten my hair, but I don't do it every day. I like to straighten it because it makes it not as messy and makes me feel a little bit put together. And remember, your hair is 90% of your selfie. Thank you.